I don't know about you all, but what I do know is I am just so sick of my phone and constantly doom scrolling. And listen, I am fully aware that I am the problem. It's me. But I'm also here to talk about what I'm doing to combat doom scrolling and get that shit out of my life. It's the idea of constantly just staring at your phone, scrolling through short form social media. And that's just one way of causing brain rot. It's called popcorn brain. Popcorn brain is the idea where we just have so much overstimulation and it shortens our attention span. And when our attention span is shortened, this actually reduces the amount of gray matter that's in our brain and it hinders cognitive development. That all sounds so scary to me. I don't know if it does for you. Doom scrolling is just rotting our brain and it is not only reshaping our attention span, but it's also changing our perception of time. I've been actually listening to a lot more podcasts lately, especially on my drive to and from work. One of my favorite is called Today Explained by Vox. They just talk about different topics that are relevant in today's society, and the one that caught my attention is called Brain Rotting. Battling brain rot. Just kidding. They basically talked about how social media is affecting our brain, and if we are indeed getting more stupid just as our days go because of technology and social media, it's really interesting how we define the idea of stupidity. And I feel like this definition changes based on the culture and the time period and how we move throughout life. And right now, stupidity and brain rotting is kind of all tied up together with the idea of overconsumption of social media and being on the internet and using technology to answer all of our questions for us. And it's the idea of how our brains are working less for things that we want because there's a uptick in ChatGPT and other forms of technology that we're using in our daily lives, little or big, that we don't necessarily think about. That is all coming back and affecting our brains, our mind, how we function, how we think, how we remember things on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to be honest here. While I was listening to this podcast episode, I was thinking to myself that I've been treating my brain like absolute shit. We actually can help combat this, and we can't change our past, but there are things we can do right now that can kind of stop our brain from rotting and reclaim our intelligence again. And that's what I want this video to be centered around. And it's important to know how memories are tied to all of this, starting with the hippocampus. The hippocampus is basically the keeper to our memories. It helps store and organize everything that we take in and remember, we see, we hear, we smell, we touch, and taste. And it helps form those memories and keep them safe and also help distribute them for short term or long term remembrance. And this is the point that I'm trying to get to. Doom scrolling affects our memories because when we are doom scrolling and constantly flipping through short forms of social media, our brain doesn't have time to remember all of these moments. So the more we learn and experience and take concepts in, our hippocampus is remembering all of these little moments. However, when we doom scroll way too much, this affects our hippocampus. This is why it is so important for us to get off of our phones, stop doom scrolling, take a break from technology, because we need to give our brains a reset and we need to experience activities that are going to rejuvenate and engage our brain rather than turn our brain into mush. And I was actually inspired not only just from this podcast, but I was watching a creator's video. Her name is Shelby. Follow and watch her video. She's wonderful. And she shared a video of all of the different analog activities she likes to regularly do to give her brain a break and to give herself some time away from her phone and social media. We call these analog activities. All around social media, people are saying it's the year of the analog. It's the year we get off of our phones. It's the year of the digital detox. From her video, I was very inspired and I wanted to spend the next few days taking you along some of my regular analog activities and what I like to do to decompress from social media. And I hope this can inspire you to find some activities for yourself that can help your brain from rotting and instead help your brain grow. Not physically, though, don't worry. We're just trying to be a little bit more intellectual and live a little. I'm actually wearing one of the finished products of one of my hobbies or activities that I wanted to talk about today. I made myself a sweater, and one of the hobbies I've taken up as of late is knitting. This is the Step by Step Sweater by Florence Miller. She has a step by step video on how to make this sweater on YouTube and has really great instructions. I think knitting is a perfect hobby to start and get into because you literally cannot be on your phone when you are knitting. You need both of your both of your fingers, both of your hands to knit. I actually think this is one of the perfect hobbies to start because of that. And with knitting, you can also crochet, you can needlepoint, you can cross stitch, I believe. There are other routes you can take in the world of knitting. Maybe you want to start sewing. That sounds fun. But for me, knitting has been one of my favorite hobbies because I am able to multitask with audiobooks or watch TV or a movie while I am knitting a project and working on something. You need patience to knit. And I think that's what's also great about starting an activity that you've never done before. You're going to learn a lot and it's going to help you grow as a person. I'd like to think that I'm better now with my sweater than previously when I didn't have my sweater. I think that how you start your mornings really is a way that affects the rest of your day. And it's so important to find a morning routine that works for you. If you've watched any of my other videos before, you'll know that I am a big fan of a morning routine. My mornings are so sacred to me because it's a time for me to decompress. It's a time where the world is silent. I give a lot of gratitude to two things for my morning routine. The first being my brick, which I got for Christmas and I've loved using it ever since. My schedule for my brick is that it turns on Sundays through Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. through 8 a.m. the next day, which means I do not get on social media during that time period at all. My phone basically turns into a flip phone from the early 2000s. I can't really use it at all. And that's really just helped me get off of social media in general, but also start my mornings with other activities that are way more important to me. The news can wait. I need to find balance and structure for myself first. So I'm a big fan of the brick. And then the second biggest activity that's helped me with my morning is the act of morning pages. In August of 2025, I started my journey through The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. I had started The Artist's Way because I wanted to get off of my phone and I felt like I was in a creative rut. I sit and I just write down my pages, my morning pages. My morning pages have kind of elevated to what suits me best. I only do one page in my Moleskine Extended in the morning, and then I will journal as the last activity at night before bed. That's just what works for me. The morning pages is a way for you to tap into your subconscious. And also, honestly, whenever I work on my morning pages, I write down things that I didn't even know I was feeling. It's just a great way to journal and to Really be honest about how you're feeling. Nothing is petty enough, nothing is silly enough, you're not being dramatic enough when you're working on your morning pages. Julia Cameron says, "We are victims of our own internalized perfectionist, a nasty internal and external critic. The morning pages are the primary tool of creative recovery. As blocked artists, we tend to criticize ourselves mercilessly." And the morning pages is a chance for us to actually be kinder to ourselves. I've noticed that it's helped me not only get off of my phone more often, especially in the morning, but it's also helped me realize that I actually am an artist and I do have creative hobbies that I love to do. And this is kind of the starting point of how I realized that there are so many analog activities that I love to do instead of doom scrolling and picking up my phone. I think that the best way to journal is to find a way that works for you because everyone's preferences for journaling is different. There is so much you can do when you are not doom scrolling. You're just given so much more time. I want you all to know that I booked my phone for this and for this next activity. The artist way has taught me a lot of things about myself, but one of the most important things I think it has taught me is that I can be creative. I am an artist, and I'm the only one that's stopping myself from being creative. One of my favorite activities to get off of my phone is to create art. The artist way has gotten me into scrapbooking and junk journaling, and I tried to take one day out of the week to scrapbook, junk journal, make a collage of some sort, create art. Sort art, I meant sort and art. Make art of some sort and create art. Words are hard. You don't need much to journal and scrapbook, but I have some books that have helped me get started with the process. I am a very type A individual, so I honestly find it a little bit hard for me to collage and scrapbook because I don't know what the final product is going to look like. And I think that's the beauty of scrapbooking. You're not supposed to necessarily know what the outcome is. The whole point of scrapbooking and junk journaling is so you can take mundane, boring moments in your life and turn it into something worthwhile, something that you can look back on again. So I ended up getting 2 different sticker books that I really just love using. They're absolutely beautiful. The artwork in both of these is stunning. This first one is Natalie Lett. I feel like my artwork is just so whimsy whenever I use something from this sticker book. And then the second one is the Antiquarian sticker book, Bibliophilia. Then the last book that I got, which has stickers and just like sheets of paper to cut out and use. This is the Flow book for paper lovers. I had been following an artist named Martina Calvi, and I ended up getting both of her books. This first one is A Year of Junk Journaling, 52 Creative Prompts to Transform Scraps of Your Life into Art. There's a craft for every single week, which is what I love about it. I recently got this. I want to make sure I use this book every single week and create something out of this. Last book that I got is The Art of Memory Collecting. 15 creative projects to preserve memories and indulge your sentimental, crafty side. I am trying to be more creative and I just need the help. I need a little nudge and a push to be more creative. And that's why I got both of these. And so far, I've loved just reading through and looking at the art and the crafts that Martina has worked on. Like I said, junk journaling is not only a way for me to get off of my phone and put it away, but also it's a chance for me to take mundane moments of my life and turn junk into art. It's a way for me to decompress and spend some time with myself and my surroundings. It's just nice for me to not be on social media and scrolling. My Instagram feed is full of people scrapbooking and junk journaling, and I love watching everyone's reels. It's so inspiring, but there's only so much we can take in. I always would be like, I want to be able to do that one day. Well, you can. I can do it. You just have to put your phone down, sit, and create. So today, I thought we could do one of the activities from the book, A Year of Junk Journaling. I've already done the very first project in here. It is a portrait of you. This right here is my art journal. This is the Paper Republic Grand Voyager XL in Chestnut. All things art. I can do a quick what's in my art journal. When you open it up, this is the first notebook. It's my scrapbooking junk journaling journal, which I'll be using today. And then the second notebook is just a blank Paper Republic notebook. I'm going to be using this for colored pencils, sketching, doodles of some sorts. And then on the back, I have some postcards. What's flipped to my Paper Republic is a set of 2 art notebooks. They don't fit in my Paper Republic, so I just kind of stick it in the back. This first one's for mixed media. I can use wet and dry on here, so watercolors and oil pastels. And then the second one is just for pencil to have. So I just put these in the back of my notebook and it just gets clipped on so it stays in place. That is what's in my art journal. Here's what I created for my first project, Portrait of You. Your journal begins with you, whether you are starting a new journal or not. Use this prompt as an opportunity to create a brand new title page and introduce yourself. I already went and did project 1, so we're going to do the second project, which is project 2, a new chapter. Use the spread to celebrate the start of a new chapter in your life, whether it's January 1st, the first day of a new job or school, or just a random day of the year. It's going to be a random day in February for me. Any day is an opportunity to start fresh and celebrate the gift of being here today. Use the page to start anew, to set your intentions, visualize your dreams, or simply to reflect on the possibilities your future holds. January is so overrated anyway. We can start our year in February. January is just like one of those months where it's not a real reset. You just turn into mush in January. You're hibernating. That's what I like to do in January. goal of battling brain rot is to stop doom scrolling, get off our phones, and also find ways to minimize the use of electronics in general. And I do have some other activities that I like to do, not every single day, but here and there when I have a little time to spare or I just need an activity as a break. This first activity is one that was recommended by Shelby in her video. So thank you so much, Shelby. It is QLess. Of course, the sun is in the way. The point of the game is to roll the dice and use all 12 letters to make words that connect. Words must have at least 3 letters, no proper nouns, no limit. Most rolls are solvable, but not all. Caution, QLess can be addicting. I want to incorporate more puzzles into my routine, and this is one that I automatically decided that I wanted to get after I saw Shelby play because this is something that I could play daily. This is something that I can add to my morning routine. I can also take it on trips and vacation with me. This is a brain buzzing game that I can just play whenever and wherever, and I don't have to worry too much about it making a mess or taking up a lot of space. I'm really glad I got introduced to QLess. I feel like this is a mix between solitaire and then the game Boggle. I used to play Boggle growing up all the time, and so it's a little nostalgic for me, and it just makes me feel good having QLess around. The second activity goes with me everywhere I go because everywhere I go is where everywhere my Paper Republic Pocket Grand Voyager goes. In the color green, we're matching today. The activity is Sudoku. I also grew up playing Sudoku a lot. I have a little pocket Sudoku right in the back, and I carry it with me wherever I go. It is the easy version. It has 100 puzzles in it. I got myself the medium, and I couldn't even solve one puzzle, so I had to immediately order the easy version. So once I get through these 100 puzzles, maybe I'll graduate to medium. I love Sudoku because it's a game that stimulates your brain. It's easy. The instructions are simple, very similar to QLess, but I love that every puzzle is different. And sometimes I will take a break and come back to my Sudoku, and sometimes I won't even finish it. So I'll have to start a new Sudoku. And that's the nice part about Sudoku is that you can always come back to it as needed. And sometimes that's the best way to finish Sudoku, actually. If you're stumped, you gotta take a break and you come back, just like when you're working on a puzzle. So Sudoku has always been an activity that I've enjoyed, and I'm bringing it back to my analog routine because it helps stimulate my brain. No more brain rotting over here. These last 2 activities that I have added to my rotation as a way to get off of my phone, I actually do on the daily. The first being using Substack. If you don't know, Substack is a social media platform that's predominantly like writing based, but what I really like about Substack is that if I do want to doom scroll or have that urge to doom scroll, I will get on Substack and I will read through different articles written by people, by normal people. I feel like when I use Substack, it's a way for me to slow down with my doom scrolling if I do, because I'm sitting and reading other people's writing and words. Substack is so unique, and there's such a variety of people who utilize Substack. So honestly, I feel like I never read the same article twice, and that's what makes my brain feel like it's working a little bit more. I mentioned that my brick turns on at 9:30 on weeknights. So when I'm in bed, if I don't want to read, which I do try to read before bed, then I will scroll through Substack and read an article or two by someone. I don't know, but that's The whole point is for also me to engage with different forms of writing. A lot of these times, these articles are so helpful that I end up wanting to take notes and refer back to them later on. I have an entire notebook in my journal ecosystem that's just for notes and quotes from Substack. So if you're wanting to find an alternative social media that is not Instagram or TikTok, then you should try Substack. You'll probably be surprised by how much you enjoy it. I recently got into Substack and I have posted an article or two myself. I started my YouTube channel 2 years ago to improve my speaking skills and become a better public speaker and also not be too afraid to voice my opinions. And I want to try something new and pick up writing as a form of public speaking in a way. I feel like I don't write enough and I want to improve my grammar, my writing skills, the idea of storytelling, because I think that's so applicable to not just YouTube and social media, but also with my 9 to 5 job as well. So I created a Substack, and if you want to follow, the link is down below. No pressure. I honestly don't know what I'm doing, and Substack is new to me. And then the second is a daily doodle using my art journal. Every single day at 5 p.m., once work ends, my 9 to 5, I'm going to open up my art journal and I'm going to create something. I'll normally find a doodle on Pinterest. I'm not at that stage where I can just create from my imagination. I need to be able to look at something and use that as a guide to help me create. But I will get on Pinterest, I will pick an art, a doodle, something that I think is fun for the day, and I will sit for maybe 10-15 minutes and just doodle. Right now I've been enjoying my oil pastels. I got this set when I was working through the Artist's Way and I didn't use them as much. So they're basically fresh and brand new. So every single day I am doodling something, and it's been a really nice and rewarding way to wind down from work and separate my work life from my personal life. Just creating something in general makes you feel good. I feel so satisfied. I find it to be really fun, and even though my artwork isn't great at all, I'm still not only improving every single day, but I'm still proud of myself for trying something difficult and just having fun with it. No expectations. That's the beauty of art and creating. I have been trying to be so intentional with how I spend my time. And so these are the different activities that I prioritize on a daily or weekly basis to make sure that I'm not doom scrolling and turning my brain into rot. We are glowing and growing here. I hope this was fun and helpful. If you have any favorite activities to get you to put down your phone, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know what your activities are, because if I hadn't watched Shelby's video, one, I wouldn't have filmed this myself, but also two, I would have never heard of QLess. And it's such a fun game now. I've been playing it every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video next week. Have a great day. Bye.